What's really good, Jokers Club Nation? It is your boy, Crooked Smile, back at it again with another podcast with the boy, the homie. I don't know. He might be on some other shit now because, he might be getting his own Crooked Smile going. But it's your boy, the chef. What's up, my dude? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, baby. I'm chilling, man. Super excited. Obviously, we're a man down. We've been hitting up Jorge. He's MIA. Jorge, we got to think here that when people disappear, they get put on missing stuff.
Hey,
So unless you jump on this before we end, you're about to go on the Instagram as a missing person. So I'm great. We're going to be talking some NWA Impact Wrestling. We got a lot. There's a lot of stuff that we're working on and doing and reaching out to people and everything else. Listen, we've been called, and I love this, and I always call him CR because I forget his name. He's like one of the coolest fans we've ever had. He called us the podcast dream team, and I definitely agree with that because we're the dopest podcast that you're ever going to deal with, and it's not me bragging. I'm just kicking facts.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I believe his name is Christopher Rivera, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to him for calling us the Dream Team Squad of the podcast game. I appreciate you, man. But yeah, man, we're going to get into Impact Wrestling and NWA Partnership, which actually has happened before, but before it was called Impact. It was actually TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, and it actually used to be a thing, and it was actually pretty good. Like they had the NWA title and everything else there, and I used to like it, honestly. I thought that's back when TNA was the very best. That's when they were technically going into their prime before, Cripple Man Hogan started coming in and screwing everything up, fixing the ramp where he had to have a straight ramp because his hips couldn't handle the normal ramp, which was actually said by AJ Styles that's the only reason that the ramp was changed, was because Hulk Hogan's hips could not withstand going down that ramp, so they switched it to where it was a straight ramp to the ring. Well, what's your thoughts on the TNA and NWA?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think right now with NWA losing all the talents they've lost, we've seen them lose Zicky Dice, we've seen them lose Ricky Starks, who's absolutely killing it in AEW with Brian Cage and Taz, and then we just see now one half of one of their tag teams, Eddie Kingston, is also in AEW now. So a lot of the premier big name guys you have are now gone. Especially with Zicky Dice and Ricky Starks being their young upcoming talent. You got to sit back and realize pride is one thing, business is another. Billy Corgan right now he's bleeding. NWA is bleeding, and people can say whatever they want. Like, I don't know what people are doing right now. You can say whatever they want about Impact Wrestling if you're a fan, not a fan, whatever. Impact Wrestling is putting on shows. You're stuck not, and I don't want to hear, well, they're in Georgia and they got different rules. Okay, well, you can get a tiny venue somewhere in Florida. If independents, if WWE, AEW, if they could use Florida, you need to figure out a way to produce a product because all the momentum NWA had, it's gone. It's been out of the thing forever.
Yeah, not to cut you off or anything, but you got like smaller independent companies. I'm not trying to like self-promote or anything else like that. But you got small independent companies like ARW. We're using a venue in Cocoa, Florida, at the Space Coast Convention Center. We're in COVID times, and we're losing crowd, and we have a crowd. That's the cool part. Like, we're doing our 6 feet distance and everything else like that, but we're still running a crowd. And I think we're the only people to actually have, like, the only company to actually have fans inside the buildings at this time, unless you're like WWE or AEW, where they can have like the talents, but we actually have actual fans inside the building while we're doing this.
Oh yeah, I would have no idea about that of the fans. Like, I don't know, but at least with that is you're bringing fans in and you get a real fan, a fan reaction to it, not just talent that are whatever. My thing is with NWA is you came in hot. You had a lot of the build up from the All-Ins with Nick Aldis. I was going to call him Magnus. Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes. You know, you had a buzz going in, and then everything you had generated forward, that's gone. You have nothing. And then the only thing that you have relevant right now is keep hearing how 3 of your bigger name talents are gone.
Yeah. And, like, it kind of works out because I'm going to switch a little bit off topic here. Well, it's not really off topic, but you have a lot of your former TNA and Impact guys that are actually with the NWA, you know, so you could kind of go on and do a war between the two, you know, like, and go about that. You know, you could do like TNA or Impact Wrestling, whichever you want to call it, because they're switching back to the Impact day or the TNA days anyway. So you're pretty much back to TNA Impact at this point, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna start calling them TNA Impact, and so you could do a TNA Impact versus NWA, and you know, go about it that way. You can do like a whole storyline and stuff like that. Go about it, kind of like how they did with the GFW and Impact, which wasn't very hot, but with the talent that NWA has and Impact has right now, obviously you put EC3 on your front line, but I doubt EC3 would be the face guy to be part of it right now because he's doing his own thing to control your narrative and everything. So I think it'd be a great concept to do, honestly. You know, do TNA Impact versus NWA just to get that thing going, or actually have NWA invade TNA to start it all off, because obviously you can't have TNA invade NWA because they ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with the invasion angle being the best way to do it, especially like you have Moose who's doing the whole TNA belt thing. Mm-hmm. You know, you have that drive. You can actually kind of keep it away from Impact Wrestling if you do, like we did that show where we were saying get rid of Xplosion and TNA for the second show. You can still have Impact Wrestling as Impact Wrestling, and your second show you could have that NWA TNA thing back and have that as its thing. So now you have NWA until they can get back on their feet on your promotion, which is where the partnership works perfectly. And you have NWA run through and take over one of your shows. Just one. You know, you just have them run wild on them. Have Nick Aldis or somebody big, a James Storm. I would actually do James Storm better. Have James Storm just come out and annihilate Moose. You know what I mean? Like, have him hold the belt like this is mine, blah, 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 blah. You know, Nick Aldis, because you do have a group with Nick Aldis, Nick Aldis, Bram, and Storm. They are a faction in NWA. You could make this work. You know what I mean? And now, who knows what's happening with Eli Drake and Storm, because they are the tag team champs. But like, you have so many opportunities and you said it a few minutes ago. Most of the NWA roster is TNA roster.
Yeah.
You know, like their first champ was Allison Kay, Impact Wrestling. Nick Aldis, Impact Wrestling. James Storm and Eli Drake, Impact
TNA,
Wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so you have all these TNA guys. You can easily bring them back. The fan base is there for them. Mm-hmm. It's their fans. You know what I mean? Like, so you have all this stuff that could transition and work. I think the invasion would be sick, and it gives you a buzz when you're ready to then, all right, we're going to go back home, do what we got to do. We keep this partnership. Once in a while, you see Impact Wrestling guys go over there. You see NWA guys on the show, and it keeps things fresh.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And to beat off of what you were saying with the trio with Nick, James, and Bram, why not revamp that and have DCC as those three? Because obviously, you know, it used to be Kingston, Bram, and Storm, right? Yeah. So obviously, you're gonna have to take out Kingston. Why not just put Magnus, aka Nick Aldis, there, and you still have your DCC? You'll be happy because obviously your boys DCC are back, and you know that'd be a way to inject NWA inside of Impact, because DCC used to be part of Impact, but you know they're on a whole new level now because now they're pissed off because they were taken out. So why not start it fresh and have those three guys come in as DCC to start the invasion?
You know what I love about that is We usually write a basic core of notes to this is our guideline. Like, well, we'll stick to this, and it's what it is. It's we always, we go, we do what we do. I seen your notes, and DCC was not written in any
No,
of
it
them.
was not written on there.
So you went off this, but this is dope because it leads into if you actually do this right, and Moose is fighting somebody else, you can once again do their light dim thing because remember there was like black and I think the blue light to make the white glow and all that.
Yeah.
You put that tick tock, and then all of a sudden when the stuff comes on and they're all beating up everybody in the ring, and DCC is back. Do you know the kind of like effect you would make on Impact fans? And then it's an NWA product because that's Storm's product. DCC is Storm's, so they could keep that. There's so many things that you do with the partnership that could work.
So, and then beating off that, I'm gonna off this one.
Whatever you're gonna say now, it better be good because this is what we're gonna put on the gram.
Because now, if you bring back DCC, we do have Crazy Steve back. He was actually a part of the original DK that took out the DCC. Why not, instead of always attacking Moose, have DCC after Crazy Steve? And then you could just work it in from there. Crazy Steve was part of the team that took out DCC to start. Come back after Crazy Steve as a, like, we didn't forget about you, like, now it's time for your ass whooping, and you're going to get it. So, and you can play it off the same way they did EC3 and Moose, like, where they played EC3's music, and then, no EC3, but play the music, let it settle for a minute, let them be like, what the hell? And then play it again. But the lights turn out this time. Blue lights turn on, and guess what? He's surrounded by DCC. And he's got nowhere to go at that point. So, and at that point, it's gang warfare, tear Crazy Steve apart.
I love the fact that you use the word gang warfare. I'm all about people getting stomped out and everything else. So I would love a DCC return. I would love Crazy Steve getting absolutely stomped out because I'm not a fan of Crazy Steve. I think it would be genius. I love the idea. DCC, baby.
I can't say I'm not a fan of Crazy Steve. I actually am a fan of Crazy Steve, but I feel that'd be the best way to do it. Obviously, as long as you have the fan base from the past that remembers what's going on, that way, even if they don't remember it, you can always incorporate it like the following week or whatever, or you can build it up. You could have like a random note be sent in to Crazy Steve, whatever, and then as he holds it up or whatever, if he opens it, you have like the logo of the DCC or whatever, or you have it shipped in on a mask or whatever, and like obviously he turns the mask around and there's a note. He reads the note, says we're coming, some crazy small shit, and go from there. I
like the mask idea. The mask idea would be fire.
Yeah, no, like you could attach a note to the mask and let them know like, hey, like your past always haunts you or something like that. So just go about that.
I'm with it. I like DCC. Let's go, baby.
So we're gonna try and come off of that one. We're gonna get back into the topic. So how much could it affect both sides if you think it all worked out?
I mean, I think it works out perfectly because TNA gets their boost from the NWA fan base into the TNA new. Because if you're partnering and you're trying to actually make a second show, what better way to do it than where it started, the NWA TNA? So you have that partnership coming in, and let's face it, a lot of people keep saying, and it's true, the Impact roster is small. So now you inject more people into it, so you keep going upon it and getting whatever they're. But for the NWA side, is you need something to create for you, because if you want to consider yourself a major, you're the only show besides ROH. You're the only show that's not running.
Exactly.
You need something, and you don't want to sit back and say, well, we're letting our talent do other things and let them make their money. Well, no, if you want to be considered one of the top players in this game, you got to be relevant. And nobody is talking about anything positive NWA because they haven't done shit. And I'm going to tell you now that Carney Land stuff is absolutely horrible. That might be worse than that Wrestle House that Impact is doing.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I think it could benefit both sides very well. It brings in viewership from each side. obviously Impact's already going to have their viewership, but you're bringing in NWA viewership, which from what I've seen, they've had about 20K or more, like without a doubt. So the more eyes, the merrier. You know, you're the only company running on, I believe it's Tuesdays right now. So why not take a shot at it? You know, it's a win-win for everybody. And if anything, you could do it in a, like, break it down. You could have this 6-way Survivor Series, whatever you want to break it down to, 5-way. So I'm actually gonna throw that question out at you. I know I didn't write this one down. I'm gonna throw some stuff at you. I'm gonna go off this a little bit.
Damn you, Jorge.
Damn you, George. But who would be your? We're gonna go 5 and 5, or if you want to go 6 and 6, you can put 6 in there. Who would be your 6 for Impact? Who would be your 6 for NWA to go all at it?
All right, so 6 is 6. It's definitely gonna be. It has to be Nick Aldis because he's the face of the company.
Yep.
So you're going to do Nick Aldis, James Storm, Bram, Eli Drake. I would go Homicide. And you want a female or straight dudes?
We can throw a female in there. Why not?
I'm going to throw Thunder Rosa as the female.
Okay.
So that's going to be my 6 for them. And then I don't want to go crazy with all the big names because I'd rather try to keep it TNA versus NWA instead of going all the powerhouse from Impact.
Yeah, right.
I would definitely do Trey Miguel, just the Rascals. I'd do all 3 Rascals. I'd probably throw Johnny Swinger in there because he's got a buzz to him. Mm-hmm. He looks old school, so I would go with Swinger as 4. Eric Young as 5, just to bring back a TNA guy. And then a female, I would have to probably go with I'll go Madison Rayne. I'll take her out the booth and throw Madison Rayne into the action.
All right, so I'll run 5. Actually, I got somewhat 6. So for NWA, I would go, obviously, Storm, Nick Aldis, Bram, because those are your bigger names. Like you said, Homicide to bring in that smaller guy. Eli Drake and James Storm would be the side for NWA. And then for TNA side, I would bring in the Motor City Machine Guns, Eddie Edwards, Moose, EY. That's what, 5 there? 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me throw out why not throw out either a Rich Swann or an Ace Austin?
I would go Rich Swann because I think Ace Austin is a nerd.
Of course you do. But what I would actually do is for the female side, I do Deonna Purrazzo, and I would do the Sienna.
That's a good NWA. Match. The size and everything. That's a good match.
Out here booking matches right now. But yeah, that's what I would go. And then just break it down. Like obviously you can have like the singles matches go out about it, but obviously we didn't write that down, so we weren't prepared for it. But while you were bringing out your people, I was just like, hold on, let me look at this roster real quick. I was writing down the names of the roster. I was like, all right, yeah, this will fit, yep. But this is the big question here: is the risk worth the reward for both sides?
Definitely, I think definitely because there's a lot of things that go into it, and I think right now, and I don't care what anyone says because I do throw this podcast in Impact chat rooms and things like that.
Yeah,
Slammiversary buzz is gone already. That buzz is gone.
I told you it was going to happen.
Yeah, last week's show was a complete flop. Mm-hmm. So you're hoping they rebound tomorrow or whenever the day is, but well, how can that not work? When you think TNA, you have to think NWA because it was NWA TNA. That whole thing was popping as a movement together going forward. you could bring that back in 18 years later or whatever it is, and then you start your brand of TNA as your second show, and then they have, once again, NWA is having some kind of something where their name is being relevantly known. So you're coming along, and then you split off, but you still have that partnership where you can have an Eli Drake back on an Impact Wrestling show versus somebody, or TNA show. You could have Eddie Edwards on an NWA show. You know what I mean? Like, you can do the crossover. And I think right now NWA is hurting so bad that this would be a gold mine for them to take an opportunity like this.
Yeah, without a doubt. With Impact being somewhat on the rise as they are, but they keep dropping the ball after their bigger pay-per-views. That's the only problem that Impact's had, and I said this on the last podcast we had. That's Impact's biggest thing. They run on something strong, and a few weeks after they drop. They can't keep the whole buzz going, and to have Impact and NWA tag again and become something, it could be major for both sides. I feel the risk is definitely worth the reward. Impact's done it before with GFW. Obviously, GFW wasn't as big as NWA, so that's kind of like the downfall for GFW's side. But to revamp NWA and TNA again, they might as well even drop the new Impact title that they have after a while and just keep the 10 pounds of gold, because that title is so prestigious to the wrestling company. Just keep that title. Like, I know you guys have had it before. They didn't call it the 10 pounds of gold, but it's all right. And you can revamp the belts and everything else like that. Like, you could just make everything TNA, Impact, and NWA again. So I feel it would definitely be worth the risk. So that's just my call. I feel like these two companies, with NWA being on the rise again, Impact sitting where it's at, it's up there, but it's not up there. It's like, do I really need to watch this week, or do I just want to miss it this week? It still gets talked about, so it's still got a little bit of buzz.
The problem comes in is it's too hit and miss. Yeah. Like, I can't watch WWE because I just think it's a shit show. Like, you might have one really good match, but then you have so many promos and time fillers that I'm not into it.
Yeah.
It's not consistent. Impact, if they were consistently, I'm not even saying great, if they were consistently good, it would be so much more enjoyable, because you can sit back and be like, well, I know I'm having a good product. It's going to be great. You're going to enjoy it because the whole show from start to finish is good. It just seems like it's the knock, and you did say it. They have something hot, and then a complete fucking flop after that. You're like, what just happened? Like, how did it go that bad? And then, I'm not trying to toot our horn or nothing, but months ago when we did the WWE releases, and we were saying about Carl Anderson and
Gallows. Yep.
Or we were saying with the Good Brothers coming into Impact, we were saying this could be great because you never know if a New Japan thing was coming. Then we did the Aces and Eights show, and we were like, yo, we guarantee they're coming. And imagine if they could build that partnership with New Japan, and a month after we did that podcast, now what are people talking about? How you seen Tama Tonga sit there saying, oh, we would love to have a partnership in the States with Impact Wrestling with New Japan because they'll keep things fresh.
Yeah.
The Good Brothers are saying it. So a month before any of these talents or dirt sheets or anyone said anything, we said that.
Yeah.
Our receipts are there. Have the shit we call keep happening.
No, yeah, it's on us. Well, I can't say it's on us. Like, obviously, they probably don't know who the fuck we are, but but we've said it. We were technically the first ones to say, because I didn't hear anybody else mentioning it until it was brought up by them.
Shit.
But who knows? Maybe we'll see Bullet Club come to Impact Wrestling, revamped Bullet Club.
And we called that again too.
You heard it here first. Joker's Club.
I'm just saying. So if this NWA thing pops off too, and their partnership comes through, I'm gonna tell you now. Like, I'm gonna make a shirt with a crystal ball that says "We know all." You know what I mean? Like,
Joker's Club knows all, man.
Yeah. Joker's Club
go all in.
Everything that we keep saying keeps happening. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it's not like we're trying to be better than anybody. It just seems like we just smarter than everybody.
pretty much.
Oh, and this is not a soda. This is Long Island iced tea. I don't drink soda.
I was trying to leave you alone this time because I've called you out the past couple times about having
Yeah,
drinks.
the
So,
last time, the last one we did was Matt Early.
oh boy, mad early. Um, anything you want to feed off of before we head out of here?
I think we hit well, everything we wanted to hit on. I think the partnerships and everything else, and the talent exchanges and everything else. I think that was well said. I like the DCC idea. I mean, to be honest with you, and I think my question to you is, why would you not? And then from there, we could get out of here. But if you're NWA, why would you not do this? Because your industry, I would like your answer to why would you not?
There's a lot of positives of why you should rather than you shouldn't.
Exactly. That's my thing is because the one thing besides, the thing is I'm trying to ask you business-wise, if you own them, if you owned NWA, why would you not make this move? Because the only answer I keep finding out is pride.
That's pretty much all it is, you know, because you like with NWA being a jumpstart company again and everything else like that. That's all you can think about is pride, because if you partner up with another company, it's kind of like, oh, we feel like we're falling off, that we need to grasp onto something to get ourselves back up again. And with Billy Corgan having his past with Impact Wrestling, he knows how it is, but it's under whole new management, it's under whole new creative and everything else like that. So there is no really negatives to it except for, like you said, the pride thing. And that's all you can get out of it. So,
which would be bad business, because if
Yeah.
you're too prideful and you don't want to make money, listen. If you own a company, it's all about making money.
exactly. And honestly, sometimes you gotta swallow your pride and, you know, take what's best for you. It doesn't always have to be that way, but, you know, like in times like this where, you know, COVID's, you know, destroying everything pretty much, you know, like we got NFL that's, you know, either not having fans or you're only having a limited capacity of fans. NBA is back on a roll. You know, they're doing a whole thing like where they're putting 2K audio in the arenas and stuff. Shout out to Orlando Magic for being undefeated in the whole COVID thing so far. And I
think it's 2 blowouts, right? I think it's 2
blowouts. And they destroyed the Kings last night by over 30 points or 25 points. So I'm telling you, watch out for the Magic. But
he said this when we started podcasting last year on a different podcast. We did a sports one, and it's on my other channel. But he said this last year, and I kept telling him they don't have a killer, they don't have a closer, and that's what I think. If Orlando keeps this squad, and I don't want to make this into a sports thing because eventually we're going to do a sports podcast.
Oh, we are.
If Orlando had a closer, Orlando would be such a more deadly team. And I think if they keep this core with the Gordon, Jonathan Isaac, who I think is going to be a rising star.
And which we need to get on a podcast about how much I respect Jonathan Isaac for, and this is probably going to come off wrong for a lot of people, but Jonathan Isaac will not kneel during the national anthem, and he will not wear the Black Lives Matter shirt during the whole thing.
I didn't know he wasn't going to wear the shirt.
Well, he's not kneeling and he's not wearing the Black Lives Matter shirt because he's actually a minister. So he feels like so he feels as though it's not right. Like everybody should be treated equal. He shouldn't.
Is he the one who said the only time he'll kneel is to God?
Yes.
Okay, I heard something. I didn't know with Jonathan Isaac. Like on that alone, if anybody has a problem with Jonathan Isaac, like please, my Instagram, and I never plug myself. It's HTS6X_Chef Joker. Please tell me you got a problem with him, and then me and you can have a verbal altercation back and forth, so I can explain to you why you're a piece of shit. And I'm not even going to finish that because people are snowflakes now. But
great dude. Orlando Magic will win the 2020 NBA championship, and we'll just cut it out there.
Drink it.
Huh?
What are you drinking?
Water.
Because you must be on some real shit if you think they're going to win the NBA championship this year.
How much we putting on it?
Dude, I don't want to take your money. I hate betting. That's a loser bet right there. That's you automatically losing.
It's not going to be Toronto. Toronto's definitely not going to make it this year.
Toronto looks freaking great.
Hold on. Before we cut this out.
Toronto played one game so far, and they blew out the Lakers with LeBron. They call him the king. With AD.
Who?
Anthony Davis. Listen, I'm telling you now, I think it's going to be the Lakers or Clippers are going to win the finals. I really think it's going to be the Lakers or Clippers.
All right, so for Eastern Conference, as of right now, we got
I will go with the Bucks, and I'm a Raptors fan. I think the Bucks come out the East.
I don't think so.
You better hope they don't match up with you.
We're 7, so we're taking on the Raptors right now.
Which is a loss.
No, it's not.
Loss.
So it's going to be...
Guys, listen, Lowry shot 1 for 16 last year, and it needed you to have a buzzer beater shot to win one game. Stop it.
And who was the person who hit that buzzer beater?
The scrub. He was one of your scrubs.
DJ Augustine?
He's a bum.
Oh my
God. Oh, my God. This is the sound clip on that's going on.
No, it's
DJ
not.
Augustine?
DJ Augustine bust a... You can walk off the pod. I'll finish this podcast by myself. I'll be me, you, and Jorge on this podcast, and I'll talk to myself on this podcast if I need to. Be like, hey, Crooked, what you think? Oh yeah, let me tell you. Oh, by the way, talking about identities. That not podcast, but that I'm gonna finish it off with this one. This is how we're gonna finish it. That promo battle league that we were in.
Yeah.
A bunch of fucking scrubs. They are trash. If they think that that's how they cut promos, they are out of their mind. We have to have cinematic promos in order to win rather than an old style, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do and do it type promo. Like how they did it back in the day where it was legit. Bro. They're snowflakes. They're soft. They don't know what they want. They're WWE fanboys that who likes the Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman to trash whatever the freak that was, and they like the whatever match it was before the graveyard match because the graveyard match was actually pretty good. But they're a bunch of scrubs. They will never be anything. And so King of the Mic promo league, whatever the hell you are, you're dog shit. Do not invite me back because you guys can't handle truth. You guys can't handle real promos. So no disrespect to Larkin or the Demoness. Demoness, I still want my promo against you, by the way. And that's how I'm going to end it. I don't care. I'm not even going to plug myself to end this, okay?
Whoa! So you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here.
That's how we're going to do it. It's ending just like that. I'm not even going to plug myself. Fuck that promo league. Fuck King of the Mic. And what is his name? Who's that scrub that called me out?
I don't even know.
I don't even remember his name. Oh, the Walker. Travis the Walker. I don't care what happened. Since you want to have me call you out and you say, oh, this isn't real promos, that I've been trained for promos, I'm going to break the news to him. Me and Chef have a promo coming up. And don't worry, you'll be part of that promo, just so you know. And fuck you. And that's how I'm going to end it. So with that, Jokers Club Nation, we're going to slide out of here. We're going to end it there before I get too wild off my chain and they actually get the crooked smile that they want. And you want to tell them anything, Chef?
No, I don't want to tell them nothing. But this dope ass thing is going to go on a new shirt. So
who knows? Maybe we'll see it in ARW in September.
Booyah!
All right, y'all. That's it. We are out of here, Jokers Club Nation. Until next time. By the way, make sure Friday to check in on us live on Facebook. Correct? We're doing it live on Facebook.
No, we're gonna do live on YouTube. We'll go live.
We're doing it live on YouTube. Don't listen to me. We're doing it live on YouTube at what?
8 p.m.
8 p.m. There we go. And we're going to do a top 10 Impact Wrestling TNA track list, and I'll probably have the best track list. Let's be honest. But we're out, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate y'all.